other former Sweet Bay. They go in the grocery store and go to checkout, and the first lady has a lighter complexion than the others, than her niece, who is also a light complexion, and her darker skinned sister is behind them. And this woman goes to the checkout, and the clerk strikes up a conversation. Isn't it a nice day? Good, aren't these good peaches? And this is a good buy. We've got the two for here. Any coupons? Charming. Having a wonderful time. The lady says, hands her a check sheet. Takes the check, says thank you, puts it in the register. The woman is on her way. The second lady, the darker complexion, goes up, and this charming clerk's expression just totally changes to blank. Does this. When she hands the check, the clerk says, I need 2 forms of ID. And the woman whips out the 2 forms of ID. Then she gets up, what some people call the Book of Shame. Well, I've been looked up in the Book of Shame. A lot of places do this still. The little book of, to make sure the checks are right. Now at this point, the lighter sister really gets irate, and she turns to the manager and says, why is this necessary? And the woman says, she said, well, this is store policy. We do this for everyone. She said, well, you didn't do it for me. All the time with the little girl watching. And she says, why didn't you do it for me? And the clerk says, well, we know you. You come here all the time. She says, excuse me, I'm the visitor in town. My sister and her daughter come here to your store every week and are some of your best customers. At this point, the manager came over. That's the end of the stories that came over on Facebook. You could write your own ending, but the title of it was Using Your White Privilege for Good. We all have to step up. We all have to, if we see a situation, we need to, and the best thing to do, and I learned this in confronting, because I taught in the arts, and we were threatened all the time with, scheduling and budgets and all this stuff. We often get called in by an administrator or for some bizarre thing like, why are you making 10 people sit on the stage? We were called into this. And why would you, my thing, I was told and coached in my summer clinics with really good musicians who had successful programs, just ask questions. And that's all the woman did. Act confused. When in doubt, act confused. And because you will draw that person out. And they may reveal something that otherwise they wouldn't. So she went in a confrontational situation with a superior, act confused. And that's exactly what that lady did. So that's a way that you can work for justice that's very simple. Now, why are these ladies up here? Well, it's not a perfect world, folks. So we're going to become the imperfect world. You, my friend, you're the haves. You are the better part of the world. So if you will all stand up, the rest of you, you're the most of the world. You're the majority of the world as we know it. We're most of Asia. We are most of Africa. We are all these places, okay? So, you all just kind of move down a little bit. You, my friend, I would like you to spread out and make the most use of these 7 chairs. Keep going. Keep going. All right? 7. Okay, lie down. Spread out. Put your feet up. 7. Keep going. Move over. And the rest of you got 3 chairs here. Right there. Let's split them just a little bit. If you would just separate the chairs. Because I would be doing this by taking. Have a seat. Have a seat. Okay. You do whatever. Just kind of squeeze in there the best you can. And I'm just going to go on with my talk. We'll just kind of keep an eye on it. We'll check in with you in a minute. Okay. But I'm just going to ignore them. And you'll have to keep it down because I have these people to talk to and I have really important things to say. Okay. So President Sandy Horn of Australia, of the World Diaconia in Berlin, was heard to say, to identify the changing context for diaconal ministry includes creation itself in a time of climate change, mining, human trafficking, and acquisitiveness that breeds unhealthy and unjust practices in providing commodities. And she's from Australia. So even we're not alone in our problems. The Deaconess movement began as a nursing hospital movement, which it still is in Germany today. Our theme was healing and wholeness for the world. We had time to worship, regroup, and re-equip us for our work when we returned home. Now, let me just ask you one question. Do you guys have any thoughts about it? Did you guys come up with any plan or any thoughts? What would you like to say to her? You don't have to, guys. You don't have to listen to them. You can't even hear the voices of the rest of the world a lot of the time. Any other thoughts? Anybody think of the idea of getting a job with her so you could live on her property? Let me just ask you this. What if you gave up just one share? Okay? Your head's not on it. Okay. So you've got one more share. Let's just